Go. Hello and welcome back to another Pickled Dragon Unscripted. I'm Dracoya with Avant Art and Scale 75 USA. And as always, I have with me the talented Matt the Pickled Dragon. What are we drinking today, Matt?
Oh, geez. I have the Bullet whiskey. It is my personal favorite these days, although I have been I had somebody try to attempt to convert me to another drink, but I'm holding pat. I tell them I still prefer this, but they're working on it. It's a different local distillery from Abita that has been trying to woo me, but I'm still down with the Bullet.
Still down with Bullet, good classics. I've got Kirin Ichiban today, just some really good Japanese beer. One is something light and simple and fun. The goal, this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, I see. Well, I like to sprint in my wheelchair. So, put it in second gear. That's as high as it goes. Goes about 5 miles an hour. It's a nice brisk pace. Yes.
So today we're going to be talking about D&D cheaters in your game. If you've ever had a cheater, go ahead and let us know. Comment, subscribe below, and tell us your experience with cheaters. So the first thing that we've decided that we wanted to talk about was your dice box rolling cheaters. You guys probably know what I'm talking about. Those are the people where you take your dice, you throw them in the box, and these people, they start playing with the box so that, you know, it just lands on exactly what number that they want.
Give it a shake. If they can see it's not heading for the result they want, they oh, I bumped it. It's like they're playing with a ping ball, machine, and they're doing the body table thing, hitting it. In the same vein with that, it just popped into my head. I knew a guy that he would roll a die, and if it wasn't the result, but he had a second attack, he'd have a second D20, and he would throw another die at that one and hit it, and so that they would both be rattling around again. Oh, look.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's a hybrid way of doing the box cheat, right? But yeah, I mean, there are many ways of cheating with dice too. I mean, there is the old method that dates back hundreds of years, and that is weighted dice, which you may not have heard of it. There are weighted dice out there, but the worst or the most subtle example of that are those solid colored dice. They never seem to roll, perfectly straight. They wobble around when they roll, and they just don't roll right. And a lot of the cheaper dice sets, if you buy enough of them, you'll eventually get a set that will roll much better than the average should dictate. And that is because there's always imperfections in those little dice. And of course, there are ways to test that. We're going to do another video on testing for weighted dice or off-kilter dice that have imperfections in them. But they do roll better than they should. And typically you'll hear people say, man, my dice always roll bad. You can see them rolling those cheap plastic solid core dice, solid color dice that you can't hold up to a light and see if there's imperfections in them. And they're probably just screwing themselves, right? But there are those people who know that their dice don't do what they're supposed to do. And you got to watch out for it. That's why we always use clear dice at our table. But we got to move on past those guys, because after weighted dice, the next one that drives me personally insane is the Johnny on the spot. And that is the guy who, you're going to need 100 feet of rope from that for that maneuver. Oh, well, I do have 100 feet of rope. See, it's written right here. And he happened to have just written it down right there. Or the guy, oh, well, are you carrying firewood? You need firewood to have, oh, yeah, I don't need to go out into the dark forest by myself to find firewood. I've already got firewood. Or
I have firewood. Of course, I have these extra rations. Of course, I have
yes,
500 limited, an unlimited arrows. Of course.
yes, the infinite number of errors. Most people don't care about ammunition, but the
It
Johnny
makes
on the
you more
spot
fun.
cheater is a little bit of an annoyance because it takes away the DM's ability to really slowly ratchet up stress because they may not have torches. Well, suddenly they have a torch they need for light, or there's little things that the Johnny on the spot takes away. But it gets worse from there. The worst, and I actually have a personal example of this. The worst is the gamer who, if you say, hey, next week I'm going to start running a particular adventure, and they come back the next week, and they know everything there is to know about it because they read it that night. All right, guys, I know you've been looking forward to this, but next week we're starting Curse of Strahd. No peeking. Before coming out, they read it the previous night. This is the previewer, if you want to call him the previewer, or the cheater, or the whatever you want to call him. But I had an experience with a guy who, this is old school gaming. A lot of gamers today, they don't map. So like if you go into a dungeon, tracking your progress and moving around, they don't really do that today. And some do, but most don't keep maps. Well, this fella, they were going through what adventure was it? The Keep on the Borderlands. It was Keep on the Borderlands, where they're all the caves of chaos and everything. And there's a little bit of a labyrinth in there, a mess of caves. And he, who had previously been a terrible mapper, suddenly had his maps down pat, like they were to the square precise based on my descriptions. I was just like, hey, you go left, you go down 30 feet, it turns right, and then it jogs to the right a little bit. So maybe it goes a little bit over here. And I would look at his map and I'd be like, well, that's interesting. His map is exactly like what I have right in front of me. Well, he had written, printed out the map at home and had it in his lap.
Are you kidding
And
me? Why would you?
he
See, that's
he
not even
knew
fun.
exactly, he knew exactly where to go to get to what he wanted. And yeah, the previewer. Ugh. But
The
we'll have
last thing
nice
that
examples.
the last thing that I want to mention is the meta gamer. It's kind of like the previewer, but it's a little more specific. So if you've ever had these people who are, they're level 1 or they're level 2, they're level 3 adventurers, and then you throw a monster at them and they just know, oh, of course, it has immunity to fire. Well, how would you know that? You're a level 2 adventurer. You've never left your little shitty town before, and now you suddenly know the full index of monsters? I don't think so.
Yes, that farmer turned adventurer knows all there is to know about liches.
Yeah, exactly. The
It's
discovery is half the fun. And then when you metagame, you really take that away from not only your DM, but yourself.
yeah, from the group, really. I mean,
Yeah.
a person that finds satisfaction in knowing all of those facts when they shouldn't probably doesn't really much care that they're ruining the fun for everyone else.
Nope. No.
So, but yeah. So with that, those are 5 examples of cheaters that we've run into, that we've had to deal with in the past. Like Jacoya said, if you have an example, a favorite example, comment down below. We'd love to hear about it. But
Love to hear about it.
until next time, come on back and have another drink on us or another round on us. I messed it up.
Another round on us. Clink.
Natural 20.
I'll just take the Thorm ring. Thank you very much.
Oh, like hell you will. You can have this, take the Venom Dagger. I'll take the Thorn Ring.
Venom Dagger? What am I? Well, actually, that could be useful. No, wait, I'm taking the Thorm ring.
Over my dead body. I can't
believe
you would even
over your dead body. That could be a ring. I'm going to take
It's
this
my
dagger
ring,
and I'm going
not
to shove it up
yours,
your...
my ring.
Whether you are looking for truly unique rings to exchange on your wedding day, or simply a statement piece for Renaissance fair or cosplay, look no further than Thorum. Rings fit for the gods. Use promo code PICKLED for 20% off your order. 1985 Games. Everything you need to make your games come to life. Use code PICKLED for 10% off your next order.